Here we are with yet another value, and this time it's going to be the value of emotions. Again, I mean, all these values are coming back just now, and you know, we can familiarize ourselves with them because we can recognize them as well. Because if there was ever a time that emotions are running high, it is at this time of uncertainty, these times of fear and depression, anxiety, all this kind of negative emotions that we have around us and maybe even within us, but we need more positive emotions. But feelings are much like waves. We can't stop them from coming, but we can choose which ones to surf. I love that. That was by Jonathan Martinson. And there was something else I found about emotions. And one of them was actually that emotions are the reporters for our soul. That's a beautiful saying, which I found somewhere. And I thought, okay, we need to talk into that because everyone experiences frustrations, setbacks, anger, and pain from time to time. But how you respond to these situations determines your character and your reputation. Because sometimes your negative emotions might tarnish your reputation because you say things to people or do things that you would never have done if these things didn't happen to you. But that also brings out the character. It says bad times don't build character, bad times reveal your character. And your character are ethics, values, and principles. And that's what we're talking about here. So, with how you respond to these situations. And that is also very important because most people react to situations. And the difference is, again, I've said this before, but the reaction is when you take action on what happens outside from the outside of you. But responding is actually when you take things in, you kind of give it some thought, and then you respond from within. And that is much more powerful and much better for yourself and everybody involved. See, it has been proven that when you are angry or in an emergency situation, your body can produce enough adrenaline to make you twice as strong and have long stretches of endurance. See, clearly your behavior is directly affected by your emotions. So this is also very powerful. But you know, if we are in an emergency situation, sometimes you see amazing things happen in our martial arts, in Aikido. There is all kinds of stories how the mind and when the mind and body come together. And one I can tell you about is how powerful this is when you actually there was a woman actually watching her husband working under the car, and all of a sudden the jack collapsed. Now she grabbed with one hand, she grabbed the car, lifted and dragged with the other hand, dragged the husband out. That is that kind of power that we all have when everything comes together. Now, could she have done it the next day? Would she, if she went back the next day, she would have looked at the car and said, that car weighs a couple of tons. I can never lift 2 tons, even though she did it yesterday. So she will never be able to do that again because now she starts thinking and different emotions starts coming in there. But at that point, everything worked together and you're probably much stronger than twice as strong. But we have all got that innate power inside of us. We've got, I mean, even the best brain scientists have not yet discovered how powerful our brains are. Yet we always do things from a negative emotion of fear, and I cannot do because we think already we cannot do based on a variety of things, our environment of what we've done in the past. Yet if nobody knows yet how powerful we are, should we not just go and do it and let nature prove us wrong and then use that as experience to become better at it? Just saying. In order to rule your behavior, you must control your emotions. It is a non-starter. I mean, if you can't control your emotions, you cannot really deal with people in the most effective way. You probably can't even deal with yourself in an effective way because you can't give what you haven't got. Responsibility in managing your behavior, emotions, and reactions will help you to activate your dreams. By directing your emotional energy, you can become more productive. So that is also, it makes you more productive if you can control those emotions, especially the negative ones. You know, you get high energy when you're upbeat, when you're positive and things are happening. You feel energy that you never had before. You don't need an alarm clock to get out of bed. But if you're desperate and you're negative and you're fearful and you've got full of anxiety, you don't even want to get out of bed. Oh, it's Monday again. You know, that kind of feeling. But you have, hey, it's Monday, another week ahead of us. We're going to make it happen this week. You know, it's totally different kind of feelings you get from the different state of emotional being you're in. See, emotions can be used to add a lot of value to your life. They can fuel your determination, give you passion for your vision, and help you to feel compassion for others. My partner Artie is amazing in this compassion. She's written The Value of Compassion, which we've already gone through as well. That was her writing. She's writing a book about a compassionate leader of influence. She's even written a poem about it. But she is a perfect example of compassion. But if you are unwilling or unable to control your emotions, it can bring destruction to your life and those around you. Now, I hope that's very clear on emotions. And again, we're going to talk into a few benefits, characteristics, and steps to follow to become better at controlling your emotions. A benefit of controlling your emotion is that you will have clear thinking and will not be controlled by your emotional impulses, which affects not only you, but all those around you as well, as I already mentioned. The second benefit is that you will be viewed as a mature person and will create a good reputation. Then there are some characteristics of a person who controls their emotions, who is in control of their emotions. The first one is they control their situations rather than letting the situation control them. They handle themselves well while identifying problems and finding solutions. So they're solution focused when they can control their emotions. And the second one is they think before they speak, especially when they are under stress. And that's what I'm saying when we talk about reaction under stress. It's so easy to just let it go out. I've talked about the value of restraint when you and that also talks into responding rather than reacting, but also stop and think before you say something, because when it's out there, you can't take it back. And then you need to ask for forgiveness. And the value of forgiveness is very shortly after that. And living in lockdown situations, people are on top of each other all the time, and that the emotions take over quite often. But think before you speak, and that is actually how you respond rather than react. Those people who show the characteristic of being in control of their emotions do so. And you can become that too. So 2 steps to follow to become better at controlling your emotions. The first one is discipline your mind to master your emotions. See, the mind is primarily a processor and will recommend responses based on what you put in. If you condition your mind with good values and sound principles, it will advise you properly. Garbage in, garbage out. I normally say quality in, quality out because it's a more positive one. It means the same thing. But it talks about values, how important values are in everybody's life. Basic human values like these, like all of these. And that was so powerful. And this process changes people's lives. It changes entire countries. The second one is remind yourself of the danger or cost of extreme emotional stress. See, the better you control your emotions, the healthier you will be. And it says when you can keep your emotions positive, it is much better for you. That's been proven medically that in hospital wards where they all had wards complete only for positive emotions like laughter and happiness, and people weren't getting so sick, people were recovering quickly, and people didn't need as long a recovery period, but they were happier in general as well. It all has to do with the way your emotions are, because your mind governs your body. So if that's already full of negative emotions, guess what's happening to you? You become ill, you become lethargic, you become down, you become low. But the positive emotions bring you up again. So here is 2 steps that you can follow. What are you going to do? And you need to write that down. Take an action step, because only action cures this. Only actions make it better, not the knowledge. So take an action step, either one of these 2 or any others, but what are you going to do to improve control of your emotions? What are you going to do? When are you going to do it? Who with? And how are you going to do that? Write that down and follow through. And I wish you the greatest amount of success in getting better at controlling your emotion. And I will see you at the next value. Take care.